Damn, I look pretty good. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I was recording. I'm so funny. But we got a new Tub video from a day ago where he's talking about anime episodes that were banned. I'm gonna go in, especially off this thumbnail, and say that I know every single one of these and the reason that they're banned. Like, off of these, I can already name. I'm assuming they're gonna talk about censors with these because I don't think either of these were banned. I think this one censored. He's gonna talk about censors in China with the clothes probably. Pokemon for the epilepsy stuff. Jinx for the racist stuff. Sailor Moon, maybe you'll talk about the English localization and how they changed the two lesbians to being cousins. And then I'm not sure what else will be on here, but I'm sure I'll recognize it. If there's one on here that I don't recognize, though, hey, I'm a bitch. That's what we'll say. You're free to call me a bitch. Hold on, let me...
Cultures, distribution rights, and other related reasons, it's common to find entire shows or episodes that can't be aired in some territories. In this video, we dive into the interesting world of anime to find out more about 6 episodes that have been banned for one reason or another. Hey guys,
okay, so off the thumbnail, I'm gonna say, oh, well, I guess they're in here, but I also don't want to spoil it for myself because you can see the things. But if it's just specifically episodes, definitely the Porygon episode. I don't know other episodes specifically though, like that.
Another video.
There's
Today
no
we're going to be talking about anime. Now, to be honest with you guys, I didn't really grow up watching anime. I did have help from my team writing this episode out. And I'll let you guys know that there are 6 episodes on this list, and 3 of them, half of them, are Pokemon. Pokemon just because I really like the show, and that's like the closest I got to watching anime growing up. But other than that, I don't want to be a fake fan and be like, yep, I watched all these. No. Just
be a fake fan, man. It's okay.
Interesting video.
I give it the anime pass.
Yeah, just quickly wanted to say that before we got into the video.
I'm making a video on not banned anime, but thanks to Blame It on George, another kind of creator in the documentary space. Not really like Tub, but still in that kind of like interesting rabbit hole type of space. I take inspiration from him, and I'm working on a video about lost media in anime that I'm really interested in. So that'll be on the anime channel sometime this year. Sometime this year.
To the topic. Pokemon, maybe. Episode 38, Electric
Soldier
Porygon, 1997.
Did I call him Polygon earlier? If I did, my bad, man. It's Porygon.
This episode, titled Den-O Senshi Porygon, is one of the most talked about when it comes to anime bans globally. It aired in Japan in December 1997, and it sparked wide-ranging concerns after causing about 700 people in Japan to have different health issues, including seizures. Some sources like Vice say that the number could have been as high as 12,000 kids. Still, Vice reports that about 600 cases were actually genuine, and that the rest of the cases could have been a result of mass hysteria from schoolyard talk by Japanese kids. However, even though there were cases of mass hysteria, it's not like those victims didn't experience.
I was about to say, it's not like it didn't happen.
According to CNN, the television network TV Tokyo sought the assistance of doctors, animation experts, and psychologists to find out why it triggered seizures in hundreds of children. On the specific day that it aired, a Tuesday, more than 700 people, mostly school kids, were rushed to the hospital.
Well, yeah, because not as many adults were watching it.
And irritated eyes, among others. A day later, on Wednesday, about 200 of those people, ages 3 to 58, were still in the hospital. What exactly triggered the attacks? Well, about 20 minutes into the episode,
I'm kidding. I'm literally kidding. Chill.
Second sequence where Pikachu attacks a group of vaccine missiles, and as he detonates a
it wasn't even Porygon's fault. It was fucking Pikachu's fault. And the Porygon was banned from like the anime for the longest time. So fucked up.
The explosion causes red and blue lights to flash rapidly across the screen. The storyline behind the episode is that Ash and his friends find something wrong with the Pokeball.
Hey! Those are the wrong friends. Editors.
Device used to capture
actually
and transmit Pokemon, and in order to fix it, they have to go inside it. They are accompanied by Porygon, a computerized Pokemon, and once inside, they discover that Team Rocket and another Porygon were to blame. A battle then ensues. In the explosion scene, the flashes were bright strobe lights and had blinks at a rate of about 12 Hz for approximately 6 seconds. This is believed to have triggered photosensitive epilepsy in some viewers. Following the incident, TV Tokyo apologized to the public and suspended the program. TV broadcasters in Japan began adding on-screen warnings against watching the TV too close to the screen and encouraging watching in well-lit rooms. There was such a huge stir that even the Ministry of Health in Japan got involved. The company behind the show, Nintendo, also experienced shocks as its share price fell by 3.2%. And video stores removed the Pokemon anime from their shelves. It took a 4-month break before the dust settled enough for episodes 39 and 40 to be aired. This episode was removed from circulation and has never been aired in any country since.
Damn, really?
The media dubbed the incident, quote, Pokemon shock. This reference...
You can still watch it, though, because I watched it. Porygon episode. Unless I'm just fucking forgetting. I'm sure you can watch it somewhere, because I do remember watching it. Yeah, this guy said I watched it on YouTube a few years ago. And it was definitely the correct clip, not even the slowed down version. I wonder if it's on Internet Archive. It is. Let me check. If I get a seizure, I guess this fucking suck. Won't it? Well, let me mute it. I don't want to... Where is it? The part where it happens. Oh, found it. Yeah. Well, yeah, okay, because I do remember watching it, yeah. It was a crazy episode, too. It was a lot different for, like, Pokemon episodes. It's pretty cool. Like, the vibes were different. It was sick. But, yeah.
Has been alluded to in other shows, such as The Simpsons and South Park. Episode 41, titled The Ice Cave, was banned
for Jinx,
Jinx and her racially stereotypical appearance.
Yeah, now she's purple.
The storyline of the episode is that Ash and his friends go on a shortcut route to Blackthorn City.
I don't know if I ever ended up watching this one. I think I have at least once.
At a Pokemon Center. The nurse attending to Brock.
There's no way I haven't, because I've gone down this rabbit hole at least like 5 times about like Pokemon banned episodes.
Who has jet black skin, huge lips in pink, big eyes, blonde flowing hair, cleavage, and hips. This appearance was extremely controversial. For instance, Carol Boston Weatherford, a cultural critic and writer at News and Record, termed Jinx as resembling, quote, an overweight drag queen incarnation of Little Black Sambo, end quote. The Little Black Sambo reference was mirroring a racist stereotype from a children's book published in 1899.
I didn't know that.
Was banned from libraries due to its insulting stereotypes. The book particularly caused a stir among American civil rights activists in the 1930s and 40s because the illustrations were said to elicit the idea of an African American as, quote, an unimagined, subhuman, black juvenile who was typically depicted outdoors, merrily accepting, or even inviting violence, end quote. In her article, Weatherford said, Jinx clearly denigrates African Americans, particularly black women. So in general, this episode was banned from airing in the US due to having blackface connotations. In some way, the appearance of Jinx, especially...
This is crazy, because she's like that in the original game, and I never noticed until like when I played the later games that she was changed. I wonder if they ever said anything specifically about like why they designed her that way, or if they just kind of brushed it off. Original design comment? I don't know. I don't even think she's in the anime at all, generally, for the most part now. Oh, apparently she's based on Gongoro and the Japanese ice spirit Yama-Uba, which I don't even know what that is, but... Yeah, I don't know. Crazy, though.
Is reminiscent of the Jim Crow era in the 1830s in America, where white performance and blackface played, quote, black characters that perpetuated a range of negative stereotypes about African Americans. Some of these stereotypes included being lazy, ignorant, overly sexual, criminal, superstitious, and even cowardly. These performers, often white men from the North, are thought to have done so to assert their dominance over African Americans. The controversy around Jinx led to the character being made purple. Still, the Pokemon episodes The Ice Cave and Holiday Hijinks were not aired in the US and some other English-speaking countries. It wasn't until December 2011 that the episode was accessible to US audiences after it was put on on-demand services. Also, at some point, Kids WB aired the episodes in a jumbled up order to avoid them landing on air around February, which is Black History Month. So it's clear through all the hurdles TV faces trying to make the episode safe for viewers that this episode's controversy might persist for years. Demon Slayer, episodes 1 through 18, 2019.
So this is gonna be China, huh?
So far, we've seen situations where episodes are banned. In this next episode, we're going to be talking about censorship. Interestingly enough, it was for an entire season. The show in focus is Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, an anime that debuted in 2019 and became
actually it's Kimetsu no Yaiba, get it right. I'm just
kidding. With global audiences. It has a really interesting storyline where the main character, Tenjiro Kamado, a teenager, trains to become a demon slayer. This is after his family is killed and his sister turned into a demon. He keeps getting better and rises through the demon slayer ranks. The show has 4 seasons so far, all available to watch in the US. What's weird is that the entire original 18 episodes of season 2 are banned in China.
China bans a lot of fucking anime though.
In China had to remake characters and give them additional clothing as well as body features. Why? Well, China has a strict policy on shows displaying or promoting violence and sex. And in this case,
I first found out about that when I watched Elfen Lied in like when I was like 14, and I found out I was banned in China completely, I think, and I was like, oh. I felt bad for all the Chinese people that couldn't watch Elfen Lied, and then looking back, I think I only liked the series because it's edgy, but I still have the same 2 posters, that one and that one, because I'm so scared to rewatch it or reread it because I remember loving it so much my freshman year. I'm scared that's actually ass. But hopefully it's still good.
Was said to be too sexual. An anime fan from China, through screenshots shared via Twitter, compared the images of Tengen Uzui's 3 wives, Suma, Hinatsuru, and Makio. In the original release available in the US and other parts of the world, the woman's cleavages can be seen, while in the Chinese version, the cleavages are covered in addition.
That must be annoying as fuck, though.
Users also pointed out that the Chinese version of the characters had, quote, tamed body features such as reduced breast size. This ban sparked conflicting reactions among the fans, with some being glad that
fucking animators already being held back from their families for like years working on the anime. Also, them having to cover up more shit and do more work.
Against how overly sexualized women in anime could be. Another perspective on the ban is that during the season, one of Tanjiro's enemies has very revealing attire. This happens when Tanjiro teams up with Sound Hashira to fight 2
it's a good thing.
siblings, Gitaro and Daki. I really hope I'm saying all these names correct. During the fight, Daki's obi, a sash that ties her kimono, change into snake-like weapons, and this means without the kimono, her attire remains to just a bra and underwear. It is thus alleged that the Chinese censors found Daki's bikini underwear to be too revealing for their audiences. A different version of the ban is that it could simply be China's new government policy that requires, quote, characters to be less sexualized while ensuring they aren't a negative influence on the youth or promoting values that might cause them to catch the gay.
Wait, how would that make them catch the gay?
Be China's new.
Obviously, it's a bad thing. Like, it's okay. Let me word this correctly. It's a bad law or whatever, that whole thing. It's not a bad thing to be gay. That almost came out wrong. But if you're a guy, I mean, maybe if you're a girl, but if you're a guy and you're watching this, you're not going to turn gay. A different
version of the ban is that it can simply be China's new government policy
that requires, was there, especially when mostly boys watch
sexualized while ensuring they aren't a negative influence on the youth or promoting values that might cause them to be gay. Whatever the reason, it sucks when the original content can't be perceived the way the creators wanted you to see it. But this one is interesting, as don't like the way females are overly sexualized to see it. But this one is interesting, as don't like the way females are.
I guess, like, at the end of the day, there's always going to be anime out there for people that don't like the overly sexualized stuff, and I can understand you not liking a character being sexualized or whatever, but that's anime, man. it's anime.
Are overly sexualized in anime, so.
But there are a lot of good non-sexualized anime, so always go check those out. I feel like. Like if I don't like something in anime, I just stop watching it.
Bebop. Episode 19, Wild Horses.
Oh, I actually didn't know this one. What the fuck?
Another great anime.
I mean, I know Cowboy Bebop, obviously.
And anime reviews is Cowboy Bebop. The Conversation
No
publication,
way it was in the US,
calls it a genre-bending storyline, claiming that it offers a pastiche of many international influences, including the mafia bits of American movies, Italian Western films, Japanese cyberpunk, and the martial styles common to Hong Kong movies. It equally does a great job sampling of international music and overall shows the transnational potential of anime. Now, with this great introduction, it might seem odd that the show had a banned episode, but yeah, Cowboy Bebop had one of its episodes pulled from airing, albeit temporarily. This also happened despite the series being relatively short, just 26 episodes. The show popularly aired non-stop on Cartoon Network's Adult Swim, and in the 2003, however, one of the episodes, episode 19, titled Wild Horses, was pulled from rotation since it involved Space Shuttle Columbia, which had burned up upon re-entry. In Wild Horses, Spike returns to Earth in a spacecraft, Swordfish 2, and goes to get it fixed by Doohan.
That's kind of a... US is kind of weird sometimes, man. I don't think that's a good reason.
His friend. While waiting for a spare part for fixing the craft, Spike and the rest of the Bebop crew learn of a bounty in the area, and so he takes a swordfish on the mission. The target then turns out to be a dangerous hacker, and he manages to hack the navigational components of Spike's and Faye's crafts. While they triumph against the bounty, Spike's craft starts failing, and Jet doesn't have a chance of getting there in time. Doohan suddenly comes to the rescue, having restored an old craft. He rescues Spike from burning up. However, this restored craft has problems with the heat of re-entry, but ultimately the passengers make it back to Earth. This episode was first aired in the US in 2001. By coincidence, it had a lot of parallels with the real-life Space Shuttle Columbia. On February 1st, 2003, Columbia was returning from a 16-day mission, and when re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, it burned up, killing all 7 astronauts.
I guess since it was so close to the time, I guess it makes sense. I didn't realize it was 2003 that this happened. I thought this happened in like the 90s for some reason. Wait, what date was it? Was I alive?
16-day mission, and when re-entering the Earth's atmosphere on February 1st, 2003...
I wasn't born yet, holy shit.
Columbia was returning from a 16-day mission, and when re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, it burned up, killing all 7 astronauts that were on board. It turned out that the shuttle had experienced damage to its heat protection tiles during launch, and the damage went unnoticed.
So sad,
you can probably see the parallels between these two situations and understand
why I didn't know this one, though. That's surprising.
To remove the episode from rotation for a while. Actually, just like in the episode where Doohan goes off about how re-entry would be dangerous due to the damage of the insulating tiles, the Columbia shuttle burned up due to damage to the insulating tiles on its left wing. So, was the episode banned forever? Well, it turned out that Wild Horses was just the perfect homage to the space shuttle Columbia, and thus it bounced back stronger after the incident. It thus continued being shown in reruns. A fun fact is that other Cowboy Bebop episodes, Cowboy Funk, Sympathy for the Devil, and Waltz for Venus were banned temporarily in the US for different reasons, including showcasing a skyscraper bombing that collapsed the building. Sailor Moon, episode 67. The sea, just an island, vacation, the Senshi relax.
When I watched Sailor Moon, it was way past the age of the DIC dubs, I think I say it. I watched the Viz dub. This was before I really watched subs. For Crystal, I watched the sub, and then obviously the manga, there's no voice acting, but so I didn't have to experience the whole banned episode thing, but I'm very interested to see what this is. To know a lot about the censorship.
Anime fans should be very familiar with this show, as it seems to be a top-tier anime in the community. For anyone else, just know that Sailor Moon has global acclaim for its great storyline, characters, and humor, and has been around since 1991. That is, including the manga. The specific episode we're looking at is episode 67, titled The Sea, an Island, Vacation,
what episode was
the
this?
Senshi Relax. It focuses on Chibiusa's disappearance in the ocean over a fuss with Rei, and how Sailor Senshi ends up saving her from a volcanic eruption. Now, the episode storyline is pretty straightforward, and may leave you wondering why it got banned in the first place.
Know why this one
the ban had nothing to do with the contents of the episode, but rather the rights. There were several players involved.
That makes sense.
DIC Entertainment was responsible for the dubbing and distribution. The original rights lay with Toei, the Japanese animation studio. Now, since DIC wanted to do things its way, as it syndicated the series to American stations, it compressed it to 65 episodes, and thus ended up cutting out a lot of content from the original version. They cut episodes 2, 5, 6, 20, and 42 from the first season, and merged episodes 45 and 46. Then in season 2, they simply cut out episode 67. This means American audiences ended up missing out on a lot of content. Then, DIC's contract with the show ended at a time when it had taken off on Toonami, a Cartoon Network/Adult Swim program. The new contract carrier, Cloverway Studios, was tasked with supplying more episodes of seasons 3 and 4, and so they tried making an uncut version of the series, although they did so by American network standards.
Yeah,
so the first 2 seasons never got an uncut version, even in DVD format. The contract
I'm so glad I wasn't watching anime in fucking 1999, man.
Made this impossible to achieve. As fans continued to demand for the uncut version, DIC contracted ADV Films to make the DVD versions. In the deal, ADV Films was to negotiate with Toei and then use the uncut tapes that DIC had originally received from Toei. However, a hiccup arose here. When ADV Films contacted Toei to negotiate to release the episodes, they realized DIC had lost the uncut version of episode 67.
Fucking idiots!
Toei couldn't send them any new files, because then that would demand a new licensing contract, and Toei had aimed to let all global distribution contracts by third parties lapse. Fans just had to settle for a low quality audio and picture in the DVD version without episode 67. It wasn't until a decade later that Viz Media got a deal to distribute the series in North America that fans of Sailor Moon got to watch the high quality uncut version of episode 67. Was the wait worth it? The fact, however, remains that for 10 years, the full uncut version of Sailor Moon's episode 67 was banned from the US. It couldn't legally be distributed just because DIC lost the original copy. Pokemon, episode 19.
Wait, let me guess why. Twin Towers, right? I don't remember. I remember this episode being banned. I don't remember the specifics.
This episode was banned in the US twice. The first ban was because it aired at a time when bringing down a skyscraper would be a sore joke. This was in 2001, when, if you know your history well, September 11th attack happened. This particular Pokemon episode follows Ash, Misty, and Brock on their adventure as they arrive in Porta Vista, a city, and are faced with an attack from Tentacool, aka the Zubat of the Seas, which are an angry group of monsters, and they follow their leader, which is a giant-sized Tentacruel. In one scene, a robotic voice says, "It is known as the Gangster of the Sea," in reference to Tentacool.
That's a banger.
And then Ash says, "That must be the gang leader." In the episode, there's a citywide destruction, extreme flooding, and hundreds of jellyfish monsters causing havoc. You can therefore see why the episode was banned, because while it was just one of those Ash and Pikachu adventures, it would have rubbed Western audiences the wrong way. The studio airing it at the time, Kids Warner Brothers, refused to air it due to the scene where Tentacruel, the giant monster, destroyed a skyscraper with its tentacles. The second ban happened after Cartoon Network took over the series, started airing it well into 2005.
Ooh.
This time the ban was because
okay, because I was watching, not in 2005, I was like 2, but I watched in like maybe 2008 or some shit. Because they would air new episodes on Cartoon Network and old episodes like the OG series and more on Boomerang. And I don't know if this was in that original airing.
Katrina. This was one of the most destructive hurricanes in U.S. history. It hit the Gulf Coast on the morning of August 29th, 2005, and stretched about 400
I'm so scared of
across.
natural disasters,
It led to
man.
an estimated $100 billion worth of damage, and had hundreds of thousands of people displaced in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. The effects of the hurricane were so devastating that it would have been very uncomfortable to watch that specific
They didn't
episode.
even have TVs. What do you mean? I'm kidding. Damn, I can't joke about shit like this. I always feel bad.
Is about Tentacool, a jellyfish Pokemon, protecting their home from Nastina, who is trying to build a hotel for the wealthy right above a coral reef that they inhabit. Nastina hires Team Rocket to exterminate Tentacool, but the device that they try to use in the extermination hits one Tentacool and then turns him into a Tentacruel. Knowing this storyline can even attack a bigger and deeper meaning to the episode's ban. For example, Climate Central attributed part of the hurricane's destructive abilities to wetland degradation, which is definitely a man-made problem. Sort of like nature striking back because we have meddled too much with our natural landscapes, like drainage patterns across the coast.
So I'm not talking much or reacting much. I'm just kind of,
make sure to leave a like, and if you are new to the channel,
hey, that was a good video for someone that doesn't watch anime. Yeah, pretty good. Maybe I'll make a video about this because there's some really crazy ones out there. I feel like. True, the Pokemon episode where James put on fake breasts, that was crazy. I wonder if anyone else mentions any other ones. I actually like how China restricted the clothing and nudity. I think it's decent, but not. How could? Yeah, I guess. Like I said, if you don't like it, fair enough. I don't really care about the sexualization for the most part, to be honest. Yeah, the Catch the Game was crazy. Why would they say that, man? That's so fucked up. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the reaction. I get it if you didn't. I didn't really say much. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Hope you guys have a great day, and peace out. Bye.